The BBC Sound Effects Room, 1927. This photo reminds us that the voiceover technology was quite simple. Simple devices and a creative approach made it possible to create amazing sound effects for radio and cinema. The first pizzeria in Chicago, Uno, 1943. In this picture, people are leaving the famous Chicago pizzeria, where they make deep-fried pizza. This style of pizza has become a culinary icon in the United States, and the pizzeria itself still exists. An unusual mouthpiece for a pack of cigarettes. America in the 1950s was a cult of smoking. One of the advertising tricks of the time was a mouthpiece that held an entire pack of cigarettes. There is zero practical benefit, but how impressive. Marilyn Monroe in the store. In 1950, Monroe couldn't make a move without a crowd of fans. Even shopping turned into a show. Here she is among the shop windows, surrounded by curious stares. Dairy strikes, the 1930s. This photo captures a dramatic moment from the dairy strikes that swept across the United States in the 1930s and 1940s. A group of farmers is pouring milk onto the land in protest against low purchase prices that made their labor unprofitable. The strikers demanded fair pay to save their farms and families. This gesture has become a symbol of the desperation and determination of people fighting for their rights during a difficult economic period. Traffic accident in Harlem, 1973. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured in this accident, but the frame perfectly captures the atmosphere of New York in those years. Stylish cars, busy streets, and lots of people. How dentists studied in 1904. At the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, future dentists honed their skills in huge classrooms. There are no modern technologies, only manual practice, exposed teeth of models, and strict teachers. The first automatic laundry in 1949. In the picture, citizens are washing and waiting in line at the first automatic laundry in New York. This place has become a symbol of the beginning of the household revolution, offering people the opportunity to wash clothes without wasting time and effort at home. The space with rows of brand new cars, coin collectors, and large baskets created a sense of technological progress and convenience for everyone. Fifth Avenue in 1942. In this picture, the legendary New York street looks respectable. Elegant clothes, elegant cars, and sophisticated architecture create the image of a dream city. Cowboys and their saddles. 1940, Nevada. The cowboy picks up his saddle. This picture is a true ode to the Wild West, where a horse was not a luxury, but an urgent necessity. Refueling station for the first airliners, 1935. Workers are refueling a silver Douglas DC-3 aircraft at the airfield. It was the beginning of the era of commercial aviation when air travel became a reality. Kirk Douglas is signing autographs. Michael Douglas' father was a true star of his time. In 1953, he was photographed with female fans right on the beach. It was the era of golden Hollywood. The Denver Museum and Dinosaurs. In 1935, the staff of the Denver Museum collected a huge dinosaur skeleton. Back then, it was like playing with a giant construction kit. The USA has become famous for its natural science museums, and this picture is proof of that. The first vending machines for drinks in 1937. The photo shows one of the first vending machines selling carbonated drinks installed in Chicago. Such machines have become a revolution in convenience, allowing people to quickly quench their thirst for just a few coins. The simple design with large buttons and distinctive advertisements reflected the spirit of the time, the desire for innovation and comfort. Hugh Hefner and his models. The founder of Playboy in 1953 easily poses with beauties. This picture has become a symbol of the era of glamour and the resurgence of popularity of adult magazines. Young Michael Jackson in 1972. In this photo, teenager Michael Jackson is riding a bike, enjoying his childhood. He didn't know yet that he would become the king of pop music, change the entertainment industry, and fall into an endless whirlpool of fame. Snowstorm, 1978. The northeast of the United States was captured by the elements. The snowfall stopped transport, and residents remembered this powerful blizzard for a long time as one of the heaviest in history. Parking in front of the supermarket, 1960s. This photo from the 60s shows a huge parking lot in front of a popular supermarket. A long line of shiny cars suggests that the United States was already a country where the car became not just a means of transportation, but also a status symbol. The parking lot, packed to capacity, illustrates the flourishing of consumer culture when every Sunday families went shopping, turning it into a ritual. A cat crosses the road, 1925. A New York police officer stopped the traffic so that the cat could carry the kitten. Today, such gestures of care can be found not only in the United States, but also around the world. Manhattan train station in 1903. Imagine the bustling Manhattan of the early 20th century. Cable-drawn trams, horse-drawn carriages, and the majestic architecture of the station. This picture is reminiscent of what everyday New York looked like before the era of cars and skyscrapers. Protests for women's suffrage in 1920. Women dressed in formal dresses and carrying posters filled the streets of New York. This historical moment captured their struggle for the right to vote, which they soon won. Smog over Los Angeles, 1979. Los Angeles was once one of the most polluted cities in the world. People wore gas masks to breathe. But thanks to strict environmental laws, the situation has gradually changed. A tram driver's cabin in 1924. Minimalism in all its glory. A driver's stool, a simple dashboard, and maximum functionality. Inside the tram there are loops for passengers, which can still be found in public transport. The Alaskan earthquake, 1964. Magnitude 8.4. On this day, March 27th, nature showed its power. Tsunamis, avalanches, and destroyed cities caused enormous damage, and the disaster changed life in Alaska forever. A boy with newspapers on a street corner, 1912. A young newspaper delivery boy stands on the corner of a bustling New York street, loudly shouting headlines. He has a stack of recent issues in his hands. These boys, often from poor families, were an integral part of urban life and a symbol of hardworking America, where everyone tried to earn their place in the sun. Not our boys. And now let's go back to the USA. In this picture, representatives of the National League of Mothers of America protest against the Lend-Lease Bill in February 1941. The poster says, "Kill the 1776 bill, not our boys." It would seem that what is the problem? The fact is that during the First World War, the United States provided large loans for the purchase of weapons to the Entente countries. But by the beginning of the Second World War, almost none of the Europeans had fully paid off these debts. Hence the sentiments of certain segments of the population in the style of, "My hut is on the edge." The Americans did not want to get involved in any European skirmishes and believed that if they were to supply weapons to the Europeans, then only for payment. These women in the photo may be the mothers of those U.S. Navy sailors who delivered cargo under Lend-Lease, or other American military personnel involved in these processes in one way or another. If you love vintage photographs and want to immerse yourself in the atmosphere of the past, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Here you will find unique snapshots, interesting stories, and captivating facts about celebrities and events that have left their mark in history. Support us with a like so we can continue sharing this amazing collection with you.